Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is the Wednesday video. It is time to look at some YouTube comments and see what's on people's brains. We have anything from really nice ones to some really good questions to some really unhinged commentary. Got a nice little selection for you of everything here. So if you guys enjoy this video and you want to be in this video, leave a comment and you might get in. Don't leave it too long because I probably won't read it. Otherwise, please like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll start here with Mr. Gal Partuk, a YouTube member. Honest question, what makes a good prize support? It's a very good question, and I'd love to answer it for you. You see, good prize support has to be something that would convince people to play the game that aren't already convinced to play the game. I'll give you an example. Digimon players. You know, there are some people that play Digimon and go to Digimon tournaments and have Digimon as a hobby because they genuinely love Digimon. They don't care about prizing. They don't care about anything else. They just want to sit down and play the game. You don't have to convince them. You don't have to do anything. You just got to print the cards. And Bandai prints cards and people buy those cards and they say, I love Digimon, let's go to town. And that's fine. Those are the ones that don't care about prize support. But you need prize support to be good for people, competitive people, to come into your game, which will also bring more sales to Bandai because they'll buy the product because they want the prize support for one reason or another, either because they want to flip it and make money or make a full-time job from it. We'll get to that later, or the collectible value or whatever, right? So how do all the good games do it? Well, Pokemon and Magic just offer money. Simply put, it's just money. And cash is king, so that works. Lorcana offers prize cards that are incredibly expensive because the art is really good, and there's so many people in the tournaments that getting a top 64 prize card is hard to do, and then top 32 is even harder, top 8's even harder than that. It's just, you know, difficult, and the art really rewards it, and it's really, really good. The art on the cards is incredible. That can basically turn into money. I only put it below Pokemon and Magic because it's not actually money, right? You can play a Pokemon and Magic event and like pay your bills with your prizing, or you could go on vacation with your prizing. You can do that with Lorcana too, but you have to take the extra step and sell them first, which is not really an extra step, which is why it's right behind it. Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't have prize support, so we won't even go there unless you count Nintendo Switch of prize support. So we'll move on to where Digimon is, and One Piece and Bandai games in general. Right now, I think out of all the Bandai games, the best prize support has to be in Union Arena and One Piece. The prize cards they do make for prize support for the tournaments are incredibly good looking. I have not seen a prize card in One Piece that hasn't slapped in terms of its art. It's very, very good. Like, crazy. And I think Union Arena even tops it. I think Union Arena goes even harder than the One Piece cards. And Union Arena will bring in a lot more than One Piece, because One Piece is just one anime, but Union Arena is several. And if they can just make banger after banger after banger after banger, it doesn't matter if the game is boring to play or anything like that. People will come because of the prize and the collectability and all that. So, what makes good prize support? It has to attract people that might go somewhere else. Because all card games are trying to compete with each other, right? Pokemon's trying to compete with Magic, trying to compete with Yu-Gi-Oh!, trying to compete with Lorcana, trying to compete with whatever else, right? So, if you have a person that's thinking about going to a tournament on a Saturday, they want to travel for a tournament, and they know there's a Pokemon tournament on the weekend, a Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament on the weekend, and a Digimon tournament on the weekend, and they ask themselves, which one do I want to go to? Odds are, if they like the game the same, they will pick the one with the better prize support. That could be a deciding factor. It also could be maybe this event has more of my friends, I'll go here, whatever. If they don't really care about the prize support, or if they like one game or the other, they'll pick the one game or the other maybe. But you know what I mean? Good prize support has to attract players to the game. So if your prize support isn't attracting players to the game, yeah, like for real, why do you think so many Digimon players went to One Piece? Why do you think so many Digimon players went to Lorcana? Like, Digimon has been losing players because the prize support in other card games is crazy. Hell, Yu-Gi-Oh! Lost people to Lorcana and One Piece because of the prize support in those games is so good. So I hope that helps. And, like, I'll be real. The regional pack we have right now, the participant pack, the finals pack, it's good cards. Like, you have to print good cards. But I think the Blitz Omni, while I'm an Omni lover, I think it was a poor choice. Because Blitz Omni already had a lot of reprinting, I think, in EX04. And just redoing it the serial number, the same art and everything is kind of like whatever. I think if Bandai is going to do a serialized card, it has to be a card that's good, that hasn't been reprinted to oblivion, that's not already a lottery card, something that's like an anime known card or whatever, and then something that's actually good. Like, examples that come to my mind would be Shine Greymon Ruin Mode, because it's good, it's barely been printed, it's everyone knows what Shine Greymon is from the anime, whatever. Even I know who that was, and I'm not a Digimon, like, was not an anime Digimon fan by any means. I knew what that was. And, like, imagine just drawing up a slapping good artwork for Shine Greymon Ruin Mode with a serial number on it. That would go so hard. And there's other examples of that too. Like, so many other examples. Just pick a anime favorite card, doesn't have a lottery printing already, and like go to town. Like it's not that hard, I think. So yeah, I spent 6 minutes answering this question. I hope that answered the question for you. Pokemon Sage. I think highlighting previous failed Gundam TCGs is a little ironic. Digimon has had a number of failed card games as well, but I have to imagine the current iteration is the most successful. I got a few comments like that. I picked the YouTube member one for obvious reasons, because it's a YouTube member. But what you have to remember is that the most recent Gundam game was 2015, which came out just before DBS. DBS was successful where the Gundam game failed. Right? Now, we do know that Bandai changed the way they did things for DBS compared to every other card game before that, and it worked. And Digimon saw success with it as well. And now that Digimon or Bandai has done 7 card games successfully, here's number 8 basically or whatever, and I'm hesitant, and I'll be real. I don't hide anything from my viewers. My thoughts are your thoughts. When I was contemplating turning my channel to Digimon Channel 2020, I wasn't sure I wanted to, because Digimon already failed 10 million times. That's not an exaggeration, but you know what I mean, right? It already failed a lot, and I didn't want to stake my YouTube channel on something that might fail so soon, right? The only reason I did do it is I saw that DBS was successful. So I was like, yeah, you know what? It's probably fine. And we're fine. We're fine. I wouldn't say we're fantastic, but we're fine. So, yeah. I'm sure it'll do fine. This card game will be fine. But I don't know. I don't know. Arco Plitz. I was ready to learn BSS if they brought all the Gundam support they released it in Japan to the EN side. Unfortunately, it never happened, so I never bothered. Hope this new TCG is decent. Well, for you, I hope it's decent too. Let's move on to other stuff. ZO521. You mentioned in the box opening EX7 that it was a strike for your store. Though with EX7 doing better, would you still count this as a strike? Yes. Absolutely. Oh, you want a reason? Because the profit I made from my boxes was only about, on average, $30 a box, when I could have just sold the boxes and made $30 profit per box and saved a lot of the time. A lot of the time. You know what I mean? That's why. That's why it's a strike. And the no lottery card hit me the wrong way. Pretty much everyone has received their EX7 boxes from, the shipments I did, and only one other person pulled lottery card. So out of the 10 cases that were here in this part of the world, only 2 lottery cards existed in 10 cases. That's deplorable. That's not good. And like I say on other market watches, right, you should not rely on lottery cards. That's true. If you're buying a random box, you should not rely on a lottery card. But 10 cases worth changes things a little bit. But yeah, no, it's still strike 2. And if we have another box where it's the same thing, I'm done. Like, I'm still real. Still real. I don't have the time. Okay, me personally, I don't have the time to buy boxes for like retail and flip them for 20 to 30 bucks. I don't. I just don't. I really, really don't. Like, it's just the way I am. I will say the set has been maturing well, maybe if I waited a little bit to actually open my boxes and whatever, maybe I'd be a little more rewarded, maybe. But I don't know. No. Ashes Fall. I wasn't going to comment until you mispronounced Pale Dramon for the 100th time. You're not going at the Pale Dramon. You're not looking at the Pale Dramon that goes in the Hexaball archetype. And this yellow guy says, you shouldn't have. Your comment brought nothing to anyone. Which is very much like Ashes Falls. His comments are garbage and useless. Very Salty says, this is probably the biggest ick I get from market YouTubes. Like, if this is your personality, you'd think you'd think you would have been a fan a bit more of the context for the things you report on. I don't know what that sentence is supposed to mean. I had a stroke reading it. And then lost the file, he says, he mispronounces on purpose to trigger people. Here's the thing. I know Pale Dramon is Pale Dramon. I think that's how you say it. I know. He's right. It does trigger people, like Ashes Falls here, who lives rent-free in my brain. And you know what? The most interesting part about people like this and people like Very Salty here, they hate me, yet they still watch my videos. Why? I don't know. Maybe because they don't want to admit to me that they actually get something out of my videos, or maybe deep down inside, they do think I'm entertaining. It's very deep, very deep. Deep down, maybe they bow down to the altar of Mario. Maybe they do. I don't know. But these haters always watch, and always watch. So I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting. Very interesting. Rycaria. Interestingly, on the European market, Hexaball is the most expensive super rare in the most set, then Zafaga, then Cassandral. I have no idea why. I'm not a big European guy. It is interesting, though. I will say that. Digitism. You really just need the Star Deck and EX7 cards. You also don't need Death X and Ruin Mode. You also don't need the promos. The deck is only expensive if you feel the need to upgrade it with expensive staples. To which someone says exactly, someone else says, yeah, we aren't all trying to go to World Championships, classic Mario's Eagle World. You know, I don't know where that comment came from, but sure. Hey, look, I don't want to say this. If you don't have Ruin Mode, then what you're risking happening is someone promoting something from the back, like an Imperial stack or something, and OTKing you in one turn. Right? Would you rather go to locals? Would you rather sit down at your locals, right? You're playing Sendromon, you're shuffling your deck, whatever, and you have no chance to draw Ruin Mode because you don't play it, right? And you sit down against an Imperial player who has a rookie in the back, then they have two Davis and Kens from BT16 on the board, and you end your turn on a Sendromon, whatever. Okay. They go their turn, they promote their VMon, they play two Bodies of Tamers, they OTK you. Is that fun? Do you enjoy that? It's not about trying to go to World Championships. It's trying to play the game. And we live in a world right now in Digimon where sometimes the best way to play the game is to not let your opponent play the game. But hey, if you don't want to play Ruin Mode and you're okay with Imperial kicking your asshole every single time, that's fine. I'm not saying that's the only way to beat Imperial with Sendromon either. That's just an example, right? Ruin Mode is the cleanest way to do it. So, if you don't want it, then, you are probably in America or maybe in Canada. I don't know. It's a free choice. You do whatever you want. Don't play what you want. Play what you want. I don't know. Doesn't matter. It means nothing to me. What I do like... Actually, no. I'm not going to... No. Nope. I'm going to stop myself right there before I potentially insult someone. Oreo X 1000. After hearing your logic on a Risa promo, I agree. That said, I don't have any, and I'm curious as to what recommendations for what to run in the meantime. I'm thinking Wonder Stomp because it gives me the first half at least. Thoughts on Shine 8 Burst Ace for more damage and Tamer Acceleration. I think you have to play promo Risa. I don't think that's negotiable. Shine Burst Ace I've seen people do, and it's okay. We've tested it. Not really a big fan. Ruin Mode is just better. But yeah, why not? Sure. Seems decent. Mr. Solo Rio. If you want to upgrade the deck to max power, promo Shu, Arisa, Cherubit, etc., then hold off until December when Yellow Scramble is released, since you need 2 of that card as well. Hopefully at that point there will be a lot of shoes in the market time drop. That's very interesting, and I like that. The only problem is, do you really want to hold off playing the Shu deck till December? Do people just want to... I'm not the kind of person that will build a deck. Like, for example, I have this Musket deck right in front of me. It's right here, right? It's all here. Would I, like, build a deck, any deck, and just say, you know what, it's in sleeves, it's ready to go, but I'm going to hold off until December because I'm waiting for another card to come out. And while I'm at it, I'm also going to wait to buy, like, 4 cards. For because they're, that's not me. Now, that might be some people. So that's you. That's fine. That's cool. That's not me, though. I would never do that, honestly. Yeah, that's all for that. High score chef. If anything, Bill Starmon will drop. The new Musketeer isn't really that great of a deck. Kind of disappointing, really. It is unfortunate that it's not that good, but yeah, it's tier 2. It's not going to, blow anyone's mind or anything like that. Raito Shurya. Considering we're getting Special Release Booster 2.0, which contains Lucemon support and a level bit over a month, Lucemon hype blah 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 blah. I agree. Yep, absolutely. Without doubt. It's going to go up. No Galman, a YouTube member. That 70 cents I save will buy a night with your mom. Oh, but for real. I just estimated how many shotos were coming out of the per box. My brain is BT piled. Or BT pilled. At least I got them before the weekend regional. The lesson learned, listen to Papa Mario. I need to follow up with this guy to see if he topped the regional, because he told me the only reason why he bought the pre-sales for Shotos was because he was going to top the regional. So if he didn't top the regional, I'm going to make fun of him a lot. I might burn him alive. But yes, important lesson, listen to me. Just do that. Like, seriously, I don't know why you wouldn't. Vault, looking forward to see what you've been cooking in the lab deck profiles. I have lots of deck profiles. They're all on my YouTube membership, by the way. They're all there. But as far as videos go, waiting for some good animations to be made, which are being worked on. So that's good. Unwinding Uncle. I want to say that it's Bandai's fault for how deck building is. In order to do this, your cards need this in traits or text. That's how most of the meta decks are. That's why I like Dragon Ball's deck building. I have so many cards at my disposal just because it says, if you have a insert color Saiyan, sure, I can use the meta Saiyan, but I have a lot more at my disposal. But for Red Hybrid and Digimon, it's just the same old cards you always use. I agree. It's a problem. It's not like the good old days of Pokemon, or Yu-Gi-Oh, or Magic. Even Magic, okay. Magic today does this well. Yeah, you still have some archetypal decks here and there, fine. But you get a lot of decks that are just an amalgamation of cards that work together. People discover synergies and they go. Sometimes. Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't happen anymore. Pokemon doesn't really it can happen. Yeah, I guess it happens. Yeah, Pokemon's good with that. Mix and matching cards, I guess. But like back in the day, there were really, really just hodgepodges of cards thrown together. Like, it was a beautiful thing. Yu-Gi-Oh! Up until like 10 years ago was like that. Even less. But, yeah, it's all good. That's my bet on that. And we have Pete the Schmeat here. It's actually really funny that you mentioned the game in this light, since I had similar combos with my friends. So first, I actually went X3, dropped the next 2. By the way, if you don't know who Pete the Schmeat is, this is the world champion. This is the guy. The SecCon world champion. So I'm going to read his comment here. And if you disagree with his thought processes, my response would be, well, become world champion or something. I consider his comments worth more than mine. I'm going to be real. If this guy made a YouTube channel around Digimon with competitive analysis, I'd watch it. Because I respect the lineage. You know what I mean? The hierarchical tiers of the Digimon trading card game. So yeah, sorry. Before, let's get back to the comment. Just to enjoy the day and the trip there while running some games and mingling with the Digi players. I love seeing the events so packed, but holy hell, you hit on the nail. Skill-based matches dropped. Not because the game's getting stale, but because the game's handling in Overwatch has been lacking. Online events are awesome, but we do need more accessible in-person events, as well as a better roundtable of people making decisions on what direction the game is going / can go in. And nothing to add, because he's right. This is basically my opinion. Like, skill-based matches drop. And that's coming from the world champion. Again, just want to mention that. So, like, if you have a problem with that, and if you do think that Digimon is still really skill-based, I want to... Maybe one day I'll get Mr. Pete here on for an interview with someone who really thinks the game is really skillful. Just maybe have a debate or something. It'd be really good content. But, yeah... yeah, like, the game's not stale in the sense that there's new cards coming out all the time and it's cool, but it's getting stale in the sense that it's all decks are doing the same thing. They're all either OTKing you with one way or the other, or they're all just preventing you from playing the game. or both in some cases. So like yeah, he's right. The whole opinion's right. This has been my opinion. Yeah, Pete's cool. I like Pete. Daniel J, 1990. In reality, if price support in events is solved, Mario, and the issue is the skill situation, what in your mind do you see being the solution? What does Bandai have to do? Start printing or stop printing to bring the competitiveness back? My situation's a little bit more nuclear. I think, and like I'm gonna get backlash, but I don't care. You know how DBS rebooted the Union Arena and started fresh? I think Digimon should just do that. And then they should move away from archetypal deck building. You know what I mean? Like, this trait nonsense and everything's a free and imperial and blah, 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 all that stuff. I think that would be the easiest way to do it because without a major ban list, it wouldn't be fixed. Like, the snowball's already rolling down the hill. The wheels on the bus are going round and round. You can't stop it. It's already in motion. And it's going to go until it just rolls off a cliff or something. Probably. But I think a clean reset, getting back to the good old times, is fine. I think that's okay. I don't think it's a bad thing, actually. Or God forbid, I'm going to get more heat for this. Use these blocks. This card is a 0-4 block. Use the blocks. Make some events with the blocks. Like, holy. Why are the blocks even there? You know what I mean? Maybe don't do a rotation per se, but like do the odd event where it's like, okay, for this event, only these blocks are legal or whatever. Great! Like, shit. Anyway, that's my opinion on that. Is that it? Is that the last comment I had? No, this is the last one. Kish says, honestly, I would at least like there to be an official Digimon TCG online simulator. Same. Agree. Yeah. Why isn't there one? It's a digital trading card game. There should be a digital simulator. But, apparently, I don't know. That's it for today. 22 minutes. Holy moly, this is a long one. But I hope you found some value out of this. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you later. Bye.